Key points in the video. What spreadsheets are we using today? What is the if function? What is nested if function? How you can use the nested if function to get a letter grade? Why should you know this and the benefits? What spreadsheets are we using today? The spreadsheets that we're using today is Excel. And in Excel, as you can see, you have multiple different ones that you could use. But for today, we're just going to use a blank worksheet because I'm going to teach you how you use the nested if function. What is the if function? So before I get you to the nested if function, I'm going to show you what the if function is. So when you type in if and you have it equal if, and then you click on the blue part, it actually tells you what the if function is, and it gives you an example, and it tells you like you have three parts of the if function: the logic, the true, and the false. So the logic part is what you're going to put in, like basically kind of like the equation, and then the true and false part will have it do the other aspect for you. And then it's kind of easy. So first we're just going to click B1, a blank cell, but we'll type in something later. So we have B1 is greater than or equal to 90, comma, quotation mark, yay, next quotation mark, and then comma again, quotation mark, boo, and then close it. So watch, when we type in 90, it displays yay. But once we take out 90, you see it says boo. Or we type in 80, it says boo. So that's like the basics of what an if function does. What is a nested if function? Well, the nested if function is the if function within the if function. So as you see here, we have just a basic if function. Again, 90. And then we have the same one as yay. If it's greater than 90, it's greater than or equal to 90, we have a display yay. If it's not, then we have a display boo. So here we're going to select C2. We're just going to type in 99. Like I said, once again, we're typing in a random number. And we're going to type equal to, and then the if function. Then we're going to type in the if function. Getting a little ahead of myself, I apologize. If, and then now we select the cell, or we click on the cell that we want to use, which would be the C2. Greater than or equal to 90, comma, quotation mark, yay, close quotation marks, comma again. But instead of typing in the second part of the if function, this is where we add another if function within it. So we're going to have if, the cell again, is greater than or equal to 80. Then we will have it display if. We're not, it's good, but not too good, So we have it if, and then close quotation marks, comma again, open another quotation marks, and we'll have it say boo, because you just did terrible at that point. And I can't stress this enough. You need to make sure you close it with two parentheses, because the first if function has open parentheses, and then the if function within the other one. So let's click it, hit enter. See, now we have yay. So let's change it up to 89. See, now we have a display eh. Let's change it up to 79. Boo. So that's basically how the nested if function works. How you can use the nested if function to get a letter grade. Well, you can use the nested if function to get a letter grade. So like you can calculate your grades, like 90. If 90, it would be A. If it's 80, it would be a B. If it's 70, it's a C. I kind of already set up a little chart here for us. Well, we're going to have the score, letter grade, and equation. And I'm going to show you two different ways that you could use this to get your equations. It's not too bad, not too hard. So let's start off. Our score, let's just give it a random number, 88. Our letter grade is where our equations actually going to be put to use. So let's head over. So equal, if select the cell, so that would be B6, is greater than or equal to 90, comma, open quotation marks, A, close quotation marks. Then comma again. And then again, this is where we have the third part of the if function, but this is where we add the if function into it. So if open parenthesis, select cell again, select B6, is less than 80, then we will have it display C. If not, then we will have it display B. And once more again, I cannot stress this stuff. Make sure you have your two parentheses. Close it. Then go ahead. And also, like, don't forget to have your commas and your open quotation marks, because if you don't, you're going to have an error message pop up, and it's going to tell you it's not going to work. So you always have to make sure you have it. And when you do the next, now we have the letter B display. So I'm just going to copy and then paste it over here to the right. That way you guys see the equation that I actually used to get this. Now the second equation that you can use to get a letter grade. It's basically the same thing. It's not that hard, I promise. So you gotta type in equal if, select the same cell again, B6 is greater than or equal to 90. It would display A. If not, then we're gonna have in the next if function, same cell again, B6 is greater than or equal to 80, then we will have B display. If not, then we'll have C display. See, so it gives us the both letter grade as before, because it's basically, this equation is the same exact as the first one I showed you. Sorry, it's when you copy and paste, you have to be really careful because sometimes it won't do what you want it to do. And I'm sorry I messed up a little bit here, but you guys get the general idea of what I'm trying to do. It's like I said, it's not that hard when you use the nested if function. Once you understand when you want to get a certain answer for it, it's awesome. Why should you know this and the benefits? So honestly, the nested if function works great for those who want to get a yes or no answer, or like letter grades, or uh, if you're going over budget, under budget, or you're meeting your standards. That's another good way to use it.